welcome back to another episode of Skyrim Marathon. Today's episode we have Apostasy, version 3.2.1. If you guys know my videos, you know that I reference Apostasy quite often because it's the second modlist I've ever played, but it kind of got me rehooked onto Skyrim. At first I played Elder Gleam v3, got hooked onto Skyrim for a while, then took a big break. Tried Apostasy next down the road, and then I got rehooked, and I've been playing Skyrim a lot ever since. So the version I used to be on, where I played the most, was 3.1.4, but recently version 3.2.1 released on April 6th, and so this was a good chance on this channel to give it a good little a run. I would have reviewed it sooner on the list that I play, which is 3.1.4, but I've modded that out quite a bit, and so it's not a good representation of what the list is by default. And I've been waiting for a new update to come out so I can give it a good review. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's see. So Apostasy is a large-scale Skyrim Special Edition mod list that delivers modernized gameplay. So a good thing to note too is you don't need the Anniversary Edition for Apostasy. It's for the Special Edition version of the game, which is not as common nowadays. High-fidelity visuals and a deeply expanded world through a curated and cohesive experience. It features fast, responsive combat built around systems like MCO, TK Dodge, Maxu Poise, and stances, alongside the Adamant perk overhaul for a more balanced and streamlined progression system. Created by the mod list author Aljo, this list incorporates a wide range of custom patches and original additions developed specifically for Apostasy, alongside overhauled cities, expanded quests, enhanced followers, which are custom voiced followers, and a richly detailed world designed to feel alive while remaining stable, immersive, and rewarding for long-term play. This list has about 3,000 mods. The most recent update added some quality of life features like horsepower, which is more controlled animations for the horses, among other things. I would definitely check out their website in the link in the description to find out more details about what the changelog shows if you played previous versions of Apostasy, or just to find out anything about the list. There is a pretty detailed guide that they have as well to get you started. Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The system's requirements, I did not get that, but I believe it's quite similar to the other list we've reviewed. They all seem kind of the same, where they hover around recommending a 4070 for 2K and something along a 3070 for a 1080p experience, maybe 3060 Ti even. But check out their site. You're gonna find out exact details on what the system requirements or recommended requirements are for the list. I gotta say, it's pretty forgiving. Apostasy did a good job, or Aljo did a good job with Apostasy in fine-tuning it to run pretty smooth. So hopefully that's what we'll see on our review today. So let's go ahead and get started on the Skyrim Marathon and see how this list holds up for our 2 to 3 hour run through Skyrim. So this list also has an alternate death mechanic. It's Stages of Suffering, where you become ethereal. I believe we did a list recently that had that as well in it. If we die, we're just going to be in the same spot, just injured. This game is pretty rough. My personal experience is pretty rough in the lower levels, as you know, most fairly difficult lists should be. This list is definitely not supposed to be on the easier side. At least it keeps you in the fight. It keeps you in it with the alternate death system that it has. You're just gonna kind of be limping around if you keep dying in place. So something to keep in mind. As usual, I have the metrics up top here. We're gonna look at some presets if they have any, and then we're gonna go ahead and make our character from there. All right, so they have some preloaded presets, a good amount here, it looks like. We have a Nord here. So that's a Nord preset that's there. That's the only Nord male preset I could find. Let's see other races here. High Elf. Alright, and then let's take a look at Altmer. So, I mean, you're going to have to translate that to yourself. You have to kind of know Skyrim to know that High Elf is Altmer because it's called High Elf in the races section, but it's called Altmer here. Yeah. And then, let's see. We'll take a look at one more. Maybe an Imperial. Okay. Oh, he looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and make this guy. His name is Nero too, which was the corrupt emperor of Rome. And so, I mean, hopefully he's not going to come off that way, but I do like the name. It's cool, aside from the fact that that's a corrupt emperor of Rome. Let's see. All right, so beef him up a little bit as usual. Skin tone. Yeah, I guess we'll keep that the same. Hairstyle. Okay, so a lot of the hairstyles I'm used to seeing is probably because I'm used to seeing it because I played Apostasy a lot on my downtime. We got a mix of some, I believe, some SMP hairs, and then also some non-SMP hairs. And facial hair. So the one thing I think you're going to notice about this list is graphical fidelity is really good and the performance is really good. And I know that before playing it because I have opened this one up to set the hotkeys, but also I've played the previous versions for quite a bit of hours. That being said, though, I'm not gonna give this like a score that's biased. I'm gonna try and keep it fair as like all my other reviews and just play it for what it is and give an honest review at the end. Okay, hair color. Okay, and then eye color. Let's see. All right, I like those Witcher eyes. Not sure about the two-tone, but I'm pretty sure if they got those, you're gonna have some good. I like the style of the eyes here that was chosen for this list. Alright, I'm gonna use my directional keys to kind of look through these a little bit better. Alright, I think we're gonna go with this one here. Well, let's go through real quick. Let's see how all the different ones. Oh yeah, you got these Witcher eyes kind of going on for a while. Alright, we're gonna go with that one there. And then we're gonna call this guy... We'll call him Nero, just like his preset was. Okay, here you can select... I forgot the name of this mod. I don't think it's Biggie Traits. It's something... You'll find it in the description if you look at the links. But you just kind of select kind of a class here, and then it kind of takes you down like some perks that you would get from it. So Vagabond, you have major skill bonuses, two-handed, minor skill bonuses to archery, block, heavy armor, security, and smithing. Okay, you begin the game, so it gives you some beginning gear, which is cool. Vagabonds begin the game with heavy armor, a battle axe, and longbow. I haven't started a new game in Apostasy in like 300 hours, so I kind of forgot how this whole beginning phase really is. Okay, we're gonna go with that one. take a look around the room. So yeah, it gives us the gear automatically. We're gonna try our best to go through a lot of different weapons. There's also a lot of different stances, so something to keep in mind. Also, this list is not using Wheeler Refined. So as you can see, that's an old Wheeler issue, especially in the beginning part of the game, where you can't equip a bow unless you drop it and re-equip it. Okay. There's some good smooth cams that come with this list here. So let's take a look here. So of course you can see also some of the different mods that are on in the MCM section. So you got dismembering framework. This list does not use Sanguine Symphony. It uses enhanced blood. What is it? Enhanced blood textures, I believe, like a light version of it. Okay, there's Quickloot, and again, Quickloot, it worked on the old version of Apostasy I played, but I think something recently has messed with it where newer mod lists that come out that have Quickloot usually lose the compass. I'm willing to be proven wrong today. Hopefully I am. Hopefully the compass stays with us for the entire playthrough. I would be super happy and stoked if it does. But that would only point, I think, to the fact that, you know, Aljo and his team figured out how to make it work. I did play on a version of Apostasy 2 versions ago that had Quickloot on there. You know, actually, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. It had Quickloot and it worked fine for several hundred hours, but then it started cutting out quite often, the compass on the top. And then I got rid of Quickloot, and then it went away. That issue went away. So I had to walk that back a little bit. I forgot I did have a Quickloot issue with it, and that's what got rid of it. Was the compass issue, was getting rid of Quickloot. Anyways, enough talking about that particular mod. So horse whistle to call your horse. And then of course you have true directional combat, and then you have some, I believe it has like enhanced survival mode in this list. It's not turned on by default, so we're gonna keep it at the default experience, but if you do turn it on, it's not just a standard vanilla the vanilla one. Let me set a hotkey real quick for this smooth cam as well. So I particularly like Vagabonds. Out of all these, Vagabond's preset is my favorite. If you ever played the Vagabond mod list, which I believe Aljo did a lot of work on this list with that mod list author as well. That preset was initially in his list, and it was a cool list. He stopped making it, unfortunately. It was kind of centered around no followers, kind of you're by yourself in the world, but it had cool like weapon arts in it. Really cool list. I hope it makes a comeback one day. Let me just set a hotkey here for shoulder swap. And then let's go talk to this dragon and be on our way.
And fulfilled your destiny.
Okay. So again, this list is pretty rough in the beginning. I expect to get our butts kicked, but if you're watching this after my last video, that was a really, really hardcore rough list. So I think it's gonna be easier than that if my memory serves me right. We're gonna start off in a city, in a player home, and I think we'll start off in. Let's start off in Riften. Okay. All right. So the UI, it's untarnished UI, and there's also a custom font on here as well. This list does use STB widgets. You can see the resistances on the bottom left there, as well as I think the level is from STB widgets as well. Level 1, it says in the corner. So if you look at it, this uses Amon EMB, and if you look at the detail in this list, it seems to lock itself at 60 FPS. It must be in the display tweaks INI file, but if you look at the detail, like it's really good, and it uses dynamic key activation, so you can eat or drink, you know, with holding shift and then just clicking activator button, the E button on it. You look at the metal, you see how the metal's shining on here? It looks very realistic. You know, some people would say Amon's a little too dark for them, and sometimes I feel like that way as well. But it also comes off very realistic looking. Like, you look at the fire here, and just the whole surrounding area and the shadows. I mean, that's a testament to how well, you know, they curated this EMB and set it all up to work, you know, perfectly with this list. Alright, so let's go ahead and just do a quick save. And we're gonna go ahead and work our way around the map as usual. So there is custom music in this list. It's not vanilla music, and it's meant to match the tone of the game. So we'll see how that sounds and feels as we're going through the game. I redid some of the hotkeys to my liking, just because I've played this particular list. I kind of know how I like my hotkeys. So I will show you. Luckily, this list comes with hotkey reminder. So I will show you how I set that up too. It's a little getting used to for switching stances. So if you look at it here, F11 is actually hotkey reminder. All right, and if you look at, I moved auto run here. So sprint is shift. Sneak used to be C, but I set it to control. But the main thing I want to show you here is the stances system, right? So you have wolf stance when you press X. You have to hold shift and then press X to switch over to eagle stance. And then you have to hold control and then press X to switch to bear stance. So what that looks like is, sorry, they also set the FOV key to, or POV key to Y, it looks like. I believe so. Let's see. Nope, that's a potion as well. Okay, there we go. No, it's F. I changed it to F and I thought it switched back. Okay, so that's our character. This is how the surroundings look, and then we're running 44 FPS right now in this town in Riften. Again, we don't do EMB frame gen on these reviews just because I'm running 4K on a running 4K on a 9070 XT, and so unless you get consistent 60 FPS on all the mod lists, EMB frame generation is just gonna look a little sloppy, and then it's gonna fall apart on the recordings. Okay, so how that looks like with stances. So if I draw my weapon here, so there's different animations for walking and for the actual animation of swinging the weapon when you change stances. So for X, shift X is bear stance. See how he changed the way he holds that axe? Okay. So let's see. And then if you hit Control X, you can see there that it turns into eagle stance. And again, that was my fault. Control I changed to crouch. So as when I turn to eagle stance, it does a crouch, but that's not the normal hotkeys. So don't take that as like a mistake on them selecting which keys to put where. Yeah, so you can see there he swings it different, and then it's just when I go back to wolf stance, it's back to pressing just X. And the cool thing is, it goes down to first person view as well. So this is wolf stance, right? And then if I hit shift, please don't jump in the way here. I don't want to hit you on accident. Shift X. Okay, it's swinging slow right now because I'm low on stamina. And then Control X. You see it's a wide swing. So that's the stances, and they did pretty good. I mean, every weapon type I could see with, I don't know, I mean, maybe daggers might be the exception in some areas, but I have to double check that later. Hopefully we get a chance to. But pretty much every weapon has 3 different weapon animations in first person and third person, which is one of the things I like about this list. So we saw one interior here. We're gonna take a look at maybe where the Jarl is, and then we're gonna head off to, I think we're gonna do, what did we do in the last review? We went from Winterhold and we went counterclockwise. We're gonna go clockwise today and make our way to Whiterun and run that way. Again, you know, really good interior lighting. Kind of on the darker side.
Did we have an appointment?
But good choice of NPCs that they selected for each of these roles.
I hope the road fared
Welcome
well.
to Mistvale Keep. I'm
Yeah.
Jarl Layla's steward, Anuriel.
Like the way the sun's shining through the windows there. You know, the food here looks pretty high resolution as well.
Excuse my disorganization, but I'm in the middle of some delicate experiments. Okay.
Okay,
Now where did
so
I
let's
put
go ahead and
these
move on.
spiders?
This list does not have sky parkour. I believe Aljo mentioned something in a chat at some point that I saw in his Discord, that he left it out intentionally because it kind of leads you to areas in the game that you're not supposed to be in. And so that kind of just messes with the way the game's intended to be played. So he left it out intentionally for that. Also, probably for the same reason, there is no paraglider in this list as well. And I believe the jumping animations is just better jumping animations, which is, it's good.
I
Does the
had
job.
another run with a thief's kid.
Alright, so another cool thing about this list here is the horses look really good. I would say this is probably one of the better, I'm not sure the name of the mod that they use for this. You'll have to go into the MO2 to see it. Forgive me for not finding that out for you, but the horse textures look really good. Probably the best I've seen in all the lists that I've played. Alright, so we're gonna make our way to Whiterun. Let's go ahead and mark it on the map. I think we're gonna cut through these woods here. Okay, what time is it? 9:45 a.m. Oh, Riften's always kind of dark. $39, 37 FPS, 36. So it is a little taxing on the system in this area. but how smooth it feels is another story. It feels pretty smooth still. It doesn't feel like the FPS is really at what it says it's at. Yeah, you got weight and water in here. Also some animations to match it, so it shows you're walking through the water, which is a nice touch. Your armor also gets wet as you get wet in this, which also is a nice thing. I like seeing that in lists. Now, the skill tree, a lot of the perks that you can put into the skill tree revolve around your weapon type and, well, of course weapon type, but your stances as well. So you have a tree for like wolf stances and bear stances and eagle stance, and like each one is different, right? So one's kind of like a bleed kind of build, the other one's like a crit build, and so on. Let's see, do we have any magic? No, no magic. Okay, well it looks like we have one perk point. Let's see what we can do with that. Yeah, we got one perk point. Let's put it into heavy armor to give us a little more survivability. So heavy armor is 50% more effective and its encumbrance penalty is reduced. Perfect. That's a relief right there in itself. Now you get experience points for actually exploring as well, which I believe is the mod called experience. So that's in this list as well. Alright, we got a pissed off wolf over here. Already I can tell you this list is more forgiving than Golified Reality, because these wolves would have killed me. I would not be making a dent in them the way I'm doing right now. So it is challenging. This list is challenging, don't get me wrong, but it's a little more forgiving than some other lists. And again, I urge you to watch the review on that one and see exactly what I'm talking about. But I literally could not engage in a fight in that list because that would just mean you guys gotta watch me die. Okay, some first-person combat. See, I like that little effect there with the blood on the screen, and then now it kind of faded off. It's not too intrusive. We're still going the right way. We got turned around. We got turned around a little bit. Okay, we'll go that way. If I had to say like a wish list for this game, it would be that or for this mod list, it would be that it tells you there's like a widget somewhere that tells you which stance you're in. That would be nice to have. Okay, some more wolves. Let's change up the stance. Alright. We got bear stance. It's a little slower, but it's a little harder hitting. Eagle stance is supposed to be a little bit more flashy and faster attacking. And then I believe bear is supposed to be the slow and heavy hitting one. So I don't know if those are hunters or what, but someone's approaching me. So let's hit save. Yeah, those are hunters.
What you want, huh?
I don't know why that guy's talking shit to the deer as he's trying to kill it though. I can't say that I've actually discovered this cave before, so that's funny. I mean, it's so crazy. You can play Skyrim so many times, especially on this channel where there's so many different mod lists, and yet you still come across like random little caves that you never knew existed. Let me set up my photo mode real quick. Yeah, the screenshots look really good in this list as well. But I mean, we've been playing a lot of lists on this channel that look phenomenal as well. So like, there's a lot of stiff competition out there. And in no way, like, am I gonna fanboy for this list and tell you that it's the best list out there, because, I mean, a lot of lists that I've played are giving it a good run for its money, that's for sure. At the end of the day, though, it's not a competition. It's each list has its own unique stuff that it contributes, and that it's made of, and the mod list authors have their own vision, and so it's good to kind of mix it up. I mean, have like 2 or 3 different mod lists on your computer. It takes a lot of time to get through them, though. I mean, you know how many hours you can spend on one list. All right, we're gonna play it safe a little bit here. Okay. Ooh, it's getting close. It's getting close. I don't have any healing spells or anything. Hopefully that other wolf doesn't come back. Oh man. Okay. Kind of tense, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, he's only got 1 hit left in him. Let's change up the stance. Okay, we're gonna do eagle stance. Alright. Took him out. Oh man. That was rough. Looks like the guy's kind of stuck in this grip stance, as if he's holding the weapon still. Let's mix it up. Let's change the let's change the stance up and see if no, he's still in that stance. Okay, what if I switch it to wolf? Nope, still in the stance. That's interesting. Maybe unequip the weapon? Let's see. There we go. So unequipping it worked. Alright, we'll try a little bit of distance fighting here. Oh. I thought he did a kill move, didn't he? And then the wolf was still alive. Yeah, we gotta keep our distance a little bit on some of these battles, though. It's getting a little dicey. I like the way the rain lands on the screen. That's either I love it or hate it. Some people don't like that, but I like it. You look at that draw distance and that view, it's really dramatic with this EMB. Looks really good. And then you can see the wet armor. We're getting 47 FPS in this open world, which is pretty good. For this level of graphics, that's really good. I know some of you may strongly disagree with me, but I like to think that the graphics on this list are pretty even-footed with a list like Novus, for example, which is well known for its graphics. But I mean, it speaks volumes because this list runs very smooth as it ships out of the box. Well, Novus, you have a lot of different options and settings you gotta kind of wade through to determine how well the list is gonna play for you. Let's try some first person. Nice. Oh, that's another thing. In this list, I believe this update redid the way the bow and arrow gameplay is. So it's good actually that we're trying that out. I don't really play with the bow and arrow that much in the other one, so I can't really tell you what the difference is. So far, it seems, aside from the kill move that activates quite often, I can't see much difference so far.
Yes.
Another thing I had to kind of get used to with this list is that their bodies look, for some reason, they look elongated more than usual. I kept my finger on why that would be the case. You get used to it after a while, but like, if you play a different list and then come back and play this, you notice it right away. That like his body looks long and narrow. Now this list does use OBody, right? So if you... Well, I believe it uses OBody. Yeah, it does. Alright, preset list key. Right, so you have himbo body types. So maybe if you change it... There we go, he's a stocky dude now. And then, let's try again. Okay, so maybe it's just a body type you choose. He doesn't look too elongated now. Maybe just the default body looks a little long. That's gotta be what it was. But that's cool that on the fly you can change your body type like that. Like, let's see, for example. Okay, so... okay, beer gut, for example. Look at this guy now. And so I think you'll see in like some of the characters you meet in this game that they look a little, their bodies look a little strange. So just know if you just aim at them with your reticles, you could actually change their body type as well. So, like Colossus. Look at this. Look at this guy right here. He's massive. You run around like him, and then let's see how the armor fits back on him. Will it fit well? Look, the armor fits perfectly fine on him. Which is pretty cool that you could just change the armor up like that. But I think we'll just go for something kind of neutral, like athletic maybe? Or, yeah, maybe that one. .37 FPS right now. I mean, we got rain coming down. So we got kind of effects on the armor to kind of make you wet. I just realized I didn't put a 2-hour timer on yet, so we're gonna see. I would say we ran for like 10 minutes so far, maybe 15. So I'll take that into account. 1 hour and 45-minute timer. Okay. Sorry about that. So we're gonna see how far we make it through here. Through the map. Okay. Alright, we don't want to die. We don't want to die. We're gonna use this. Okay, we died. Alright, so your health has reached 0, you've died, a higher power has intervened and pulled you back from the edge. However, in the process, you have been injured. After each death, you will briefly become ethereal. Nearby enemies will disengage from combat and fully heal, and you may either continue fighting or retreat. If left untreated, your injuries will get worse upon the next death. To recover from an injury, you must rest. This message will not appear again. So you have to rest at an inn or a home. You can't just rest at like a random bandit camp. It's not gonna, like a random bed you find. I believe that that's not gonna heal you all the way. But it's good that we kind of got killed. We can showcase that. I didn't think it'd be this early on, but I expected to die at some point. I don't think the bow animations change based on your stance. I believe it's a stanceless weapon, but we're gonna see. Okay, so we got the ego stance now. Alright, we're not gonna waste an arrow on him. We're gonna finish him off with the axe. Cool. We got a dagger we can mess with now. And then to take a look at the effects of the injuries. So luckily we just had a minor injury from that. So that's pretty forgiving actually. Now this list, if you look at the website, you're gonna find that there is the difficulty slider can actually be used. Right here, there's difficulty slider. Can be used to change the game difficulty. I know that sounds obvious, but some lists kind of disable that. In this sense though, it'll give you like, you'll take less damage as it gets easier and you'll deal more damage. And then, you know, certain things can be easier in combat. So the harder it gets, the harder difficulty you get, the less forgiving their hits are going to be against you, and your hits against the enemies are not gonna impact them as much. And then the fact to like kind of get stunned or staggered easier as the difficulty goes up, or staggered less, not as easy when you put the difficulty lower. So it's kind of detailed on their website. I would check that out. If I kind of go into it more, you already see that I'm kind of butchering it. And again, full disclaimer, man, I'm not a professional Skyrim. I don't know if there's even such a thing, a professional Skyrim player, but I'm just a dude that plays a lot of Skyrim, and I make these videos. So don't hold me to too high of a standard there. Start calling me out in the chat in the chat there. Just take these videos for what they are, and I'll tell you what I can with the limited knowledge that I got. So yeah, the graphics, I mean, I'm sure you can kind of see for yourself, but they're pretty spectacular. The trees that were chosen, combined with the EMB style and the custom tuning they did to the EMB, it almost feels like realistic. Look at the quality of the rocks here and of the ground. Or even the shrubbery on the side of the road. You can see the details of every leaf here. The water looks amazing. Look, even the side of the water here. Look how good that dirt looks. Or even down to the signpost. The wood looks good. You can see the grains in the wood. So I'm just picking random stuff and you can see the textures are amazing. I mean, that wood on this tree, I guess, is a little pixelated, but not that bad, to be honest. And then as you get about this far, it looks high detailed. So, you know, the fact to pick and choose certain things and what resolution they're going to be at, and balancing performance is kind of an art in itself. What time do we have here? 3:39. Alright, we got another wolf coming at us, sounds like. And we should try to play it a little safe here. So let's see if we can get up on some type of rock. Nice. Alright, so it comes with some health generation. Which we could use. Again, really nice integration with weight in water. It looks really good as you enter the water. I mean, look how clear that water looks too, first of all. And then the nice textures go into the water even. But you can hear the contact with the water being made. You see that? Underwater, you can really hear it underwater and it feels like you're underwater. So, really good. Really nice attention to detail there. Let's add that knife that we found to our guy here. Let's see. I think you really need to just get really refined, honestly, every time. Because I couldn't even just add that just now. But now I bet you I can because I dropped it. Yeah. It's really a no-brainer. I don't see why you wouldn't use Wheeler Refined. You don't need a CTD patch like you would with regular Wheeler. Alright, let's see. I mentioned daggers. I don't know if it changes based on stance, so let's find out, okay? So I believe we... Okay, let's start off with wolf. Okay, yeah. It looks like it does change based on stance. So first person, this is your dagger moves. Then you switch to bear stance. Yep, it's slower, but it looks like it would hit harder. And then you do eagle stance. And then, like I said earlier, it's kind of fast and agile swings. Now, third person. This is eagle. Yep. It's very, like, performative, right? And then you switch to bear stance. And it's more, like, more intentional, more heavier swings. And then wolf stance is kind of like, I guess somewhere in the middle ground. I like to look at it that wolf... You kind of look at it like... based off the animal type, right? So the bear is like hard hitting, slow. Then wolf attacks somewhere in the middle between eagle, and eagle is fast and agile. So they did plan out the weapon animation types really well, and how they chose which to use for what. This is a cool shot right here. Oh, this also uses souls, I believe. So. Okay. Yeah, that battle was not going to work out well. I'm totally outnumbered. So here's the point where I should have ran away, right? But we're so close. Let's see how badly we get injured.
You're gonna have to hand over.
How badly you get. So if you want to stay in the fight, let's see how badly you get injured. This is a good test for it, right? So we keep dying here.
Picked a bad time to get lost.
And you can keep fighting, and you can probably get through them. If you're lucky. Right there, so I beat her. Okay, she killed me again. Now let's see. Well, let's not see yet, but I'm probably racking up a ton of injuries. I think that character needs to be looked at though. She has a little bit of a potato face. And usually that just means that the replacer is not taking the way it's supposed to. Alright, well, let's see. What do we have here? Look at our injuries. Severe injuries. And then, like, we'll go through the list and what it says later, but... At some point, our guy's gonna be basically useless, and we'll be walking away, constantly dying, if we keep staying in a fight. Yeah, it's probably best we leave this area already. It's just gonna be constantly me going into ethereal because I just don't have a fighting edge anymore. So I mean, this is a good demonstration that you can't just go like full Rambo mode inside these bases. You still gotta kind of take this list seriously and know that you're not like super powerful and just can take on everything at level 1. Okay, so you can see now my movement speed is 80. So not quite as brutal as like a Requiem list, but it does penalize you for dying. Alright, let's take a look at our injuries here, okay? So we got a broken leg. So your body has reached its limit. Your movement speed is reduced by 20%. And sprinting consumes twice as much stamina. Your body's reached its limit from a severe injury or a broken mind. Your magicka recovers 75% slower and your spells cost 25% more magicka. Deep wounds. After a near-death experience, your health recovers 25% slower. Necrotic wounds. Your body has reached its limit, your health recovers 75% slower, and healing spells and potions have no effect on you. So that's already like you're stuck in this death loop. Your injury has worsened from a severe concussion. Your magicka recovers 50% slower and your spells cost 10% more magicka. And then you have a shattered sternum. So your body has reached its limit, your stamina recovers 75% slower, and you spend 50% more stamina while power attacking or drawing a bow, and drawing a bow. So our guy's like pretty much kind of like useless at this point. In fact, this is his running speed right now. And then sprinting. I mean, we can still fend off some animals, but like these injuries will get worse. That's not like the worst of it. It'll get worse if we keep dying. Get food from these guys. Alright, let's check out a different stance here. Wolf stance. Wolf stance for the wolves. That was kind of like a really short swing there, buddy. Alright, let's use eagle stance. In case this guy's like a bandit. Is he a bandit? No. Oh, it's Feindal. From Riverwood. He's kind of far from Riverwood right now. What's he doing out here? So the ambiance is pretty cool. Look how like it's real foggy. Honestly, this list kind of won me over. Granted, I haven't played at the time. I hadn't played as many lists as I have at this point. But when I played this, I was just like kind of taken aback by the graphics level and how optimized it was. That I don't know, I kind of stuck with it. So this is an interesting bridge here. Usually people on the mod list redo this bridge kind of nicely with the roof and all the green vines all over it. But this one here, kind of like a beat down bridge. There's a roof there with there's a roof on that bridge there. We gotta hit up an inn. Do we have any money? Let's see. We have 0 gold. Oh, we gotta sleep somewhere somehow. I like the thick fog though. That's really cool. Like you can hardly see what's in front of you. See, look how big Farkas is because of that himbo body. But like, watch this. I can change him into I don't know. Maybe this. There you go. Now he's scrawny. You can kind of change him however you want. So we can make him what is it? Beer gut. Beer gut Farkas. I think you can do the same with the females here. Yeah, see, you can change their body types as well.
Hey, watch it.
Anyhow, the magic of OBody. I like that mod. Alright, so here we are at Whiterun, a very ominous Whiterun as we're approaching it. What time of day is it? 7:36 p.m. We'll take a look at it from a different time of day. Well, let's see nightfall. Okay, kind of a cloudy day still. But the nights, like, you see, like, you would think a list that's kind of like this dark would have super dark nights, but the night is very visible still. And I guess that's depending on what kind of screen you're watching it on and if your brightness is kind of up. But like on my screen, I could see very well at night still. So this is kind of like a more lore, I guess, lore accurate Whiterun. Kind of like these grasslands are kind of like more barren looking.
Wares and weapons, all for sale at fair prices.
This guy is just hovering above the ground. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be something here he's sitting on. Normally, he's not like that, so something happened with the update maybe, or maybe just this load of the game. Maybe if I restarted, it would be there. I don't know. But in the previous version, I've never seen him sitting, like hovering like that. Alright, we gotta get creative here. We gotta find a bed to sleep in. Otherwise, we're gonna be walking forever. I don't want to have to fast travel back to my player home in Riften and fast travel back, because that kind of like takes you out of the marathon kind of mood. We are about to level up. Hopefully, maybe that'll clear it. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, stability-wise, I mean, I've seen a couple hitches on the performance end, but stability, like, no crashing. The compass is still there, which is great. It's playing nicely with Quickloot, which is good. Oh, what's going on here? There's a fight going on? Alright, let's level up real quick. So, let's get our heavy armor up. And maybe some one-handed. And what else do you think we'll use there? Oh, we should get marksman up. In fact, let's put a couple more into marksman to kind of test out the archery, and then we'll get our stamina up a little bit. So to give you an idea here of the skills, you'll see here that two-handed will have 3 branches here, right? So of course you have this here, which is power attacks and all that. But 3 branches, you'll see wolf stances all the way up to the top. Then you have the hawk stance. I said eagle, that was my bad. It's a hawk stance. And then bear stance here. So you can see bear stance attacks two-handed weapons. Apply Sunder, reducing armor by 150. So that's kind of the theme there. This one here is critical damage, 10% likely to do critical damage. And then this one here is bleeding. So yeah, that, and then it follows that theme all the way up to the top here.
Do your work. No one bests an order.
This is a really nice Whiterun. I really like this kind of like darker tone as well. I can kind of dig it, but also like really high texture, like really good high resolution textures everywhere. Like the dirt there or the grass looks real. The trees, you know, really match it well. Really tasteful, I would say. Okay, we usually check out Bellathor's, so let's check out Bellathor's real quick. Then we'll head up to Dragon's Reach, and then we'll head out to Riverwood, and on our way to Markarth. Okay, so really nice lighting coming through the windows, which is nice. Look at how bright that is. But you see all the little details of the window there, which is really cool. A fireplace with the deer head. The wood grain, all really good wood grain all throughout here. The carpet looks good. Even Bellathor looks really good. If you look at his hair or his skin.
I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're
Here, let's make Bellathor beer gut Bellathor too. Watch.
keen to sell.
There you go.
You just let me know what you need. I am at your beck and call.
So even though you use OBody, you also take into account that the weight that these NPCs are. So you don't adjust the weight, you just adjust the body's type. So he could be anywhere on the slider, and Bellathor is usually on the thinner side, so his beer gut body doesn't look quite as big as Farkas's one.
Everything's for sale, my friend. You need visit no other shop.
Let's see how much it is to rent a room here. Actually, we gotta check out this inn real quick. Oh, well, actually, we should check out to see how our leveling up cleared off our afflictions from dying. Let's see. Nope, it didn't. Alright, so how much is a room here?
Huh.
75 gold.
Iron may be simple, but it'll stop enough to keep you in the fight.
Okay. Do I need to join? The interior is really nice here, by the way.
I like being able to smell the forges from here.
Oh, that's totally a vampire. I've never even seen this NPC in town.
Need something? If it's work
Sadia.
Hulda's the one to talk to.
Okay, so I might have to, I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I might have to join the companions just to use their bed for free. I wonder if I can use it off the bat, or if I have to do a quest first. Let's find out.
Hey, you at it again? Watch the eyes. Hey, watch it.
I think I gotta talk to their guy down here, right? Let's see. No active quests. Yeah, I can't use it. This guy's also a custom follower.
Yes? This one bids you welcome, but perhaps you will come back another time.
I have him in my earlier playthrough.
A stranger comes to
There we go.
Yes, perhaps. A certain strength of spirit.
Master, you're not truly considering accepting him.
I am nobody's master.
Yes?
Last I checked.
The last place this one headed. Bikai cannot thank you enough. This one's bed is in the big room with the 8 beds. You will find it by turning right inside and walking to the end.
Never even heard of this outside.
Sometimes things come to us.
Alright, let's see.
It makes no difference. What matters?
Lost Locket. Hmm. Okay. Well, I can't find it. Let's go. Let's still go talk to the leader of the companions. So I just need a bed to sleep in.
Of course. How? That may be so. This is Vilkas. He will test your arm. Vilkas, take him.
All right,
out to the
Vilkas,
yard
let's
and
go.
see
Come
what
on.
you can do.
Aye.
So there's a lot of custom armors in this mod list. They're not vanilla. They're modded armors, I believe. And then the vanilla ones are also like high-res retextures of them as well.
The old man said to have a look at you. So, let's do this. Just have a few swings at me so I can see your form. Don't worry, I can take it. Come on now, fight your own battles.
Are we really fighting here, or are we just practicing still?
Pretty good arm you have there. Come on now, fight your own battles.
Okay, I think I'm in like this loop here with him. Okay,
Fight your own battles.
there we go. Are we done? No.
Here's my sword. Go take it up to Yorland to have it sharpened. And be careful. It's probably worth more than you are.
All right, thank you. I'll take your sword. Sorry about this little side quest. I just need a bed, man. And
What
I don't have
brings
75 gold, even if I sold some of my stuff.
I'm guessing you're the newcomer then. Oh, don't always just do what you're... My name is Eorl. I have a favor to ask. My wife is in mourning. That's a good man.
Alright. We'll give Ayla her shield. And then I think that'll get us into the companions. Which I think will allow us to take some weapons from their main hall there too, so we could try out different weapons. So this might not just be a completely waste of time.
If you wish to hunt... Ah, good. I've been waiting for this. Good to see you made it up here.
You know this one? I saw him training in the yard with Vilkas.
Ah, yes. I heard you gave him quite a thrashing.
Don't let Vilkas catch you saying that.
Do you think you could handle Vilkas in a real fight?
Yeah, I'd kill him before he drew his sword.
I like your fire, though. Here, let's have Farkas show you where you'll be resting your head. Isgrimor
Farkas,
himself wouldn't
come
have
out.
the patience to
We
deal
know
with
you're
all
here.
the rabble around here. All right, then.
Did you call me?
Of course we did, Icebrain.
They treat
Show
Farkas
this
so
new blood
unfairly,
where the
don't
rest
they?
of the whelp sleep.
Feel bad for the man.
New blood. Oh, I remember you. Come on, follow me.
Alright, very good, Farkas, let's go.
Skjor and Ayala like to tease me, but they're good people. They challenge us to be our best.
Alright, so he's gonna show us to the beds, and then basically we can go ahead and sleep.
Nice to have a new face around. It gets boring here sometimes. I hope we keep you. This can be a rough life. Alright, so here you are. Looks like the others are eager to meet you. Come to me or Ayala if you're looking for work. Once you've made a bit of a name for yourself, Skjor and Vilkas might have things for you to do.
Okay.
Good luck. Welcome to the Companions.
By the way, if you're looking, the Rift is seeing a lot of trouble.
The quarters are up here.
All right, we can sleep. Nice deep slumber, and then we'll be on our way. Yeah, we gotta make note as we kill things. We need to pick up some valuables, so that way we can sell it the next time we need a bed. Okay, so let's see. So yep, everything is cleared off of us now. And then we also have a rested bonus. Your magic and stamina regeneration is increased by 10% for 12 hours, which is great. Alright, so let's get out of here now. Keep going on our run.
You still need to prove yourself, Will.
Oh wait, that's right. I want to grab some weapons real quick. It should be just in the main hall here. Hopefully I can grab like a shield or... Okay, so we got a battle axe. Okay, so a mace, we'll take that. And I think those are just maces there too. Do we have any shields anywhere? I'll take some food. We'll eat that too. I'll drink a little bit of beer. And... yeah, I guess not. Are these better than ours? Iron battle axe. Steel warhammer +1. So the battle axe is garbage. So we'll take the steel battle axe. We'll swap that out. And then we also have a mace, right? We just got, so there we go. Check out Dragon's Reach and we'll get out of here. We have about an hour and 7 minutes left to cover a lot of ground. Again, it's amazing the wood textures that they use, and like even the how like nice these pots look and the plates. The fires look great. The NPCs look good.
You should be talking to my steward.
The armor textures look really good. You see that armor texture? Even the one I have on. The lighting's not too good there. But like the lighting, not the lighting, but the armor texture is good. Himbo, which is the thing you use to change the male bodies, also adds enough variety to the male bodies that they all look kind of, you know, have their own characteristics. You can see here too, this is an Elden Ring armor that this guy's wearing. So there's some really cool like custom armors in this list that are not usually in here. And then some of you other players out there, there is also, if you're into NSFW stuff at all, there's that kind of armor you can enable here, and then you can craft that kind of stuff in this game. So a little bit for everybody. All different types of players have a little bit of something to get.
And what does the Empire do? Nothing!
Nay, worse than nothing. The Imperial
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
It took me weeks to find that thieves' den. I can't
I mean, you just look at the details of everything that's in here. It's very nice attention to detail. Amazing, amazing graphical fidelity here. And without the costs too. I mean, we got 54 FPS. That takes a lot of optimization to get to this level. Alright, so I'm thinking we're gonna head to Riverwood. And then we're kind of gonna breeze through over to Markarth from there. I like how Riverwood's not marked on here. So like little towns and stuff, like it's kind of cool that you kind of have to you kind of discover them organically, which is kind of cool. I think that's quite common though in a lot of different maps for Skyrim. There we go. See, like this guy's place kind of spawned in finally, and that's what he was supposed to be sitting on.
The roads of Skyrim lead.
So I'm glad it kind of sorted itself out.
Perhaps you take a look.
Let's see if we can sell the iron one. And okay, 39 gold, that's not bad. Again, a lot of people like different art styles, right? So I think this list is definitely not going to cater to the people who like it kind of cartoony. It's definitely not like, it was a huge contrast to Elder Gleam that I played. And Elder Gleam, I like that art style as well, but I can appreciate this art style too. But they're totally different vibes, both of these lists. But this is almost like photorealistic type of so Amon's almost like photorealistic type of art style. Alright, we got some wolves here. Let's switch up the stance. So again, it's enhanced blood textures. And it's a light version. So like if it was Sanguine Symphony, there'd be a lot more blood going on here. You see that there's no blood really landing on the floor, but there is blood getting on the weapon here. Poor wolves. I'm sorry to use you as demonstrations. As we're running, I guess we'll look at the different animations for the mace. So again, we're in wolf stance. Okay. And then we're gonna switch to, what is it, bear stance? Or, okay, hawk stance. Okay, hawk stance, first person. And then bear stance, third person. And then bear stance, first person. I personally kind of lean into bear stance when I play this, the earlier version of this mod list. But I mean, once in a while I'll switch over. But I like the more grounded animations that bear stance gives you, because even like the one-handed sword animation is actually a For Honor weapon animation type, which I believe is the Centurion from For Honor. So a nice little shot. This is a really good shot of Whiterun. Not Whiterun, Riverwood. I like these giant like stone structures kind of jutting out there. Kind of a simplified bridge here. Not like some lists have a really nice intricate bridge there. If you just take it in though, I mean, this is like a really good finely tuned EMB. Alright, and we got some structures over there that are not typically in the vanilla game. So this is a little bit of an overhaul. We'll go take a closer look at it. Okay, so it's not an actual house that you can go into. This cool little bridge over here that kind of leads into like Embershard Mines across the way there. Or Embershard Mines is right over there actually. It's like a house that kind of burned down a long time ago. Nice, you got some gold. Get the warrior stone since we're here. Take a look at the NPC.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts.
Yeah, this NPC looks good too. And this NPC looks
all right then.
Really clean, like textures on their skin, and their clothes are high resolution. And everything around him is high resolution. Yet I'm still getting, you know, high 40 FPS in this area. Now here, we're expecting to get some drops here, okay? Because I don't know about this list particularly, but in a lot of lists, the area near Solitude, the marshlands going into Morthal, and this area tends to be huge FPS drops in a lot of the lists that we play. So let's take a look and see if we dip like I've seen some of the lists that we played dip into like under 30 FPS in this area. So let's see how it looks here. We're not as helpless as we once were. Looks like we kind of take those wolves down pretty easily now. I promise you, Ghoulified Reality, if you haven't watched that review on this channel, you need to watch how difficult that list is, because I couldn't even kill more than one wolf. Like if there was 2 wolves, I would die.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank you.
Oh look, free horse. Let's test out the horse. Alright, so we got horsepower running the horse animations. Falkreath is that way. This way is Markarth. Alright, let's go. Oh shit. Okay. Alright, we need to find an exit plan here. Kind of got in over my head there. Alright. We got away before we died. Thank goodness. Just look at the textures on this horse though, man. This horse looks super good. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to go on foot. I'm not gonna ride this horse too much longer. I just need to get away from that crazy scenario I just encountered there. Or got myself into, I should say. Cool battle music, right? Kind of matches the vibe of the game. Okay, battle music stopped. Yeah, so, I mean, look at the horse. Really good, man. I wish I had some type of magic spells on me so I can show you guys some magic. But I'd rather find that organically than, I don't know, do like some console command to get it. Let's see, are we facing any challenges here? Nope. Still good to go. We barely got away alive on that encounter. Alright, what do we got here? Okay, Vigilance of Stendar.
Oh.
Dude, look at their armor.
The suffering the Daedra cause will not go unpunished.
Really cool.
You speak to a Vigilant of Stendar. Cavort with any Daedra, and we will hunt you down. Wherever the Daedra hide, the Vigilant Stendar and cast them into the light.
I wish I could take them in a fight so I can switch to their armor. What weapon should we try next? I guess we'll try... I don't know. This is kind of an interesting combination. Dagger and mace. Let's see if there's different animations for dagger and mace. So wolf. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. And then bear. Okay, and then hawk stance. Oh man, I like that. Okay, and then so I have a feeling this one's gonna be a little harder to pull off like unique animations for. Oh yeah, okay. It seems like maybe the dagger is just kind of a set animation there. And then the right-handed weapon follows... Okay, or maybe not. The right-handed weapon follows the one-handed art style. But I just did a... I'm pressing right-click, and it's doing a kind of a dual swing there in that stance. But then if I switch to wolf stance, it swings separately. And then hawk stance, it swings separately as well. So yeah, so I guess, I mean, maybe hawk and wolf are kind of similar. And then bear stance, was it bear stance that was... Yeah, bear stance has a double swing there. Oh shit, I walked right into that. We're not recovering any health right now. Do we have any food we can eat? Alright, salmon. There we go. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think of the list? Why don't you write down in the comment section what you think? I think the graphics are probably one of its more biggest sellers for me. And everything else, it was kind of like... So the graphics kind of caught me at first. And then everything else kind of fell in line where like I liked the gameplay. I like that there's different stances. And then I like that... I like the high resolution textures on the armors as well, not just the surroundings, but like even on the animals or the enemies. I really like the attention to detail and everything, and the fact that like the performance is really good. Like I'm running at 49 or 50 FPS out here, and like I'm out in the open world with huge draw distances here going on. With like fog and waterfalls and really good optimization. Graphically, I gotta say that, like, I think I gave Novus a 5 on graphics because that was kind of like as good as it gets, and I would rate this a 5 as well. So Old Hroldon, this is a little cool area off the path that I really like in this list. This little town, like I don't remember this in other lists in this area. This might be an addition that I've like it's not usually here. But it's got its own like side quests from the inn. And then it's got a full-on inn over here as well. But like just the whole vibe of this area, like these old castle ruins, is really cool. I have to go back in the vanilla game to actually like check this spot to see what's actually here. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe this is actually in the vanilla game, but I've only ever noticed it on this list. So also the Imperials have custom armor in here as well. It's not like a retexture of their default armor or their vanilla armor. It's really cool. I like Roman history and I like Roman armor and I like the especially like this captain has this helmet. It's really cool. There's also higher ranking Imperials that have that helmet with the helmet hair going the other way. Alright, so we're almost to Markarth. But I mean, if we take a look here, I think this is actually the background that I used for one of my wallpapers. This is such a cool shot of the, what is that Dragonborn base there is in this game. Alright, so here we go, approaching Markarth. Really majestic kind of look to it. I really like the fog they have in the mountains in this list. And we're getting 50 FPS. With all of this beauty and high resolution textures, you're still coasting at 50 or 51 FPS in this list. Now again, this is 4K, okay? So if you're running similar hardware to me and you're running in 2K, you're running raw performance well over 60 FPS. I would lock it at 60 FPS and just, you wouldn't ever have to worry about it dropping below, but yet you get to enjoy this level of graphics, you know? Okay, we see a little bit of an FPS drop right here. I don't know what's going on, but it's down to 30. Let's see. Okay, 55 now, 60. But when we were down here, it's 30. There's something going on with this here, I think, is causing FPS drop. Whatever this is. As you get away from it, your FPS goes back up to over 50. Okay, no, I'm 50. No, there you go, drop into 30s again. Yeah, something about the game engine does not like this. Maybe it might not be this, but something right here is not. It's not going well. But now look, 60 FPS as you approach the door. Alright, where's that? Where's that guy that tries to kill her? Where is he? That's interesting. I usually see him here. Ah, you know what it is? I don't think that quest line. So this, if you look into the website of this mod list, a lot of quests don't start until you're a certain level. So I have a feeling that quest doesn't trigger into a higher level for yourself. And I think you can fine tune some settings in the MCMs. Okay, we're gonna do our usual. We're gonna check out the Temple of Talos. Check out the lighting in there. Okay, they did the same thing Lorim did. They put this Dragonborn music in here. That's interesting. So, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to meet this guy in here, right? But he's dead here now. What? I'm pretty sure that dead body's not here normally. Alright, we're gonna go dual daggers here. So we're getting 60 FPS in Markarth at 94% GPU utilization. Now it's 99. But it's staying pretty close to 60. It's high 50s. Now it's going to 45.
What is this? Is that what you call it? In the Legion, we would call it.
Let's change the time of day a little bit to morning. We'll check out the inn real quick.
Come on in. The Silverblood Inn has plenty of strong drink and clean rooms.
Don't mind the yelling. My parents are always.
You see like how real the NPC's face looks, or like the
I'm just here to clean up.
It's really like really unique textures on their face. They don't look generic. Granted, there was that lady at Valtheim Towers, Valtheim Towers that had that potato face. But for the most part, the NPCs chosen for this list all have like a unique looking face.
Call a soldier of fortune. Make me an offer, and I just might fight at your side.
The interior shadows look really good. These golden pipes look great. Again, as usual, the wood all looks really good. Yeah, we got Remiel here. Let's see if we could just recruit her.
Talk, though. Why don't you go just as if that matters? Wait, that means you can get into Nushu and Zep.
Fine. I'll find my own way in. Surely that old man has to sleep eventually.
I don't have time to talk, though. Why don't... What was his... The bastard won't let me... As if that matters. How so? I don't... Oh, then he'll have to let me in. Alright then, name your price. Oh, that's not... Let me see what I have. Okay. So?
Yeah, heck yeah. We're gonna get some gold. We can use it to sleep.
See the excavation site and convince him...
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
About something.
We got someone in our team, which is good. She's gonna help us pick locks if we need it. But also, yeah. Also, let's see here. Compass. Yeah. Something happened there. Toggle compass. The compass went away, but I'm like wondering if I press a button to disable it before I rule it as an issue.
You want a cut of venison or mutton? Well, of course you do.
I have to work, and only reason Jarl keeps Anton
Don't try
on
to
is
haggle
because
with
he
me.
cooks up a storm.
Buy or leave.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a gift for
I
a
don't
friend,
see.
perhaps? Or a lover? Redguard craftsmanship in every
Okay, so
piece.
that came back,
The secret to chopping meat is
but the
never
compass
watch
is not
your
coming back, and so is my health bars. So I'm gonna restart the game, and if it doesn't come back on its own, I'm gonna save like this. If it doesn't come back on its own, then I must have pressed some button that hid some UI. But if it does come back on its own, and I saved like this, then it could be an issue, most likely caused by Quickloot. So let's go ahead and restart. I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, we're back. Everything looks like it's back to normal, so I'm pretty confident it was an issue that was brought about by Quickloot. I will, during editing, I will go back and mark the point where it all kind of went away, and maybe from based off of that, someone watching the video, or maybe I can determine what caused the issue. But I kind of predicted it that would happen. So I would say do yourself a favor, if you download this list, just disable Quickloot. I think even another modlist author on a list I reviewed a few lists back left Quickloot as like a optional thing to enable because it has some risk to it. I think that's the smarter way to go about it. If someone really wants to take on that risk, then, you know, they can enable it, but otherwise just keep it off. It's not worth it. It's there's no doubt that's a nice to have, and I would totally love to have Quickloot on my list if it didn't come with that caveat. Alright, so we're gonna make our way to Dragon Bridge. We have about 30 minutes left. I believe that's the crossover for Dragon Bridge. So let's go. We're gonna practice some dual wielding. Let's take a look here. Okay, and then wolf stance. hawk stance. Yeah, he even holds it different in hawk stance. While if you're in bear stance, he holds it like this.
The only downside
And
to
then
traveling
wolf
is
stance,
that I miss
he
my
holds it like
parents
that.
very much.
That's cool. Okay, wolf stance like this. Okay. Then we're gonna go bear stance. Kind of more like a stab motion instead of a slashing motion. And then hawk stance. Kind of like a more fancy slashing. So the area back near Falkreath, the game held together pretty well. You know, I said that usually you get FPS drops in that area, really bad in a lot of lists, but it held together well. I'm really curious to see how it's gonna hold together near Morthal, because that'll be kind of like a differentiator. If it holds together well there, like kind of similar to how it does in this area, then that's pretty impressive.
Come and face the forsworn. That's it. That's your best. Curse you. You win. I said.
Cool, we got a sword and an axe. Nope, 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 nope. I got no bows. Alright. Sword and axe.
Let's see if they had anything worthwhile.
Alright, we got one more to contend with. Nice. Yeah, she's alright, huh? You're alright? Spazzing out a little bit over there. Nice, 20 arrows. Just when we ran out of arrows. We got a cool new dagger. We got a new bow. Perfect. And we can level up. Let's do a little bit of one hand, since we're playing with one hand a little bit. Let's increase the heavy armor and marksman, and maybe I guess block. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do some magic on this one. Alright, so dual wielding swords. That's the wolf stance. Alright, and then we got the bear stance. Yeah, I think that's a For Honor move set. And then we have hawk stance, which again is more kind of fancy looking. Yeah, they got some big, what do you call those fish again? I forgot the name of the fish off the top of my head for some reason, but they got slaughterfish. They got some big slaughterfish in this list. That thing's massive. Let me equip some stuff here. Is it dead? I think it's dead. Forgot to put a skill point in, huh? Let's put it into one-handed, and then next one we'll put it into archery, or marksman, I should say. I was hoping we'd find some different armor by now. We're still with the same armor we started with. Oh, I should note that for followers in this list, there is no Nether's followers framework, which is typical for some lists, or most lists, I should say. You have just the swiftly order squad, and then you have settling the squad, so you can assign like a player home to them. And then that's about as far as it goes with followers. And I believe because of the way that's set up, you can have like as many custom followers as you want, but like vanilla followers, you could have just only one. This guy's got nice armor. It's just wanting new armor. Perfect.
Have something to say?
Perfect. Nice. Okay. I like this armor set. So this is the armor set that comes with the red guards in here. So the red guards, like the ones that go after Sadia, they wear this armor. I like it. Did I get a weapon from him too? Crown sword, yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll go bear stance. Okay, so here's the moveset for swords, bear stance, wolf stance. Okay, an interesting little sound effect there. And then this is hawk stance. Again, I like bear stance usually, so I'm gonna use that right now. Really foggy right now, isn't it? It's kind of interesting. Look, you're kind of sunken into the rock there. That's a minor thing, though. Happens in modding. It's a very, like, subtle little thing, though. That doesn't really bother me. Hopefully we come across a shield so you can see the shield animations too, because your sword animations do change quite a bit based on the shield being in the other hand.
The body to add to our count.
I am like less of a victim nowadays, it seems, so like I can really like hold my own, it seems. Alright, quite a drop there. I don't know, what do you think? You think we can make it? There's a slaughterfish down there. Let's see. The worst that's gonna happen is we're gonna go ethereal and be a little injured. And we'll sleep at the inn. Yeah! Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. We gotta back up a little bit. Bunch of arrows all up in that in that bear's butt now. Keep shooting it as it's running away. Okay. That bear can one-shot me, I think, with how much life I have left. I got 4 arrows left. Dang, I need my arrows back. If I can kill it, I can get all my arrows back. Okay, what can I use here? What can I use here? Doesn't seem to quite know how to get to me over here. Damn you, bear. God dang it. Ah, died twice. Yeah, I can't get my arrows back. He's too strong. I almost had him. But now he recuperated all his health. I can't take him down now. And I'm injured. What do I have? Yeah. Is that slaughterfish on land? Yeah. Oh well. We'll keep going. We got some ground to cover. We got 13 minutes left on this. We definitely have to sleep at the end though. Alright, straight ahead, straight shot. It's so foggy right now though. Let's that guy's pretty bloody. Let's see if we can change up the weather a little bit, huh? There we go. Oh yeah, that's much better. You can really see the world now. So much better. Just for review purposes. I mean, I want to keep it natural as possible, but you guys should see the world for without all that fog as we're wrapping up the review. Man, these graphics are like, they still, I've been playing like 500 hours on the previous Apostasy, which is the same graphics. And like, it still like takes me back a little bit when I look at it. And the FPS is so good. Like Novus, you know, Novus does some pretty good, fine tuning and like, optimizing. But like, I feel like Apostasy, just the way it is, without having to figure out if you installed it right or not, has the best graphics combined with the best optimizations.
Been seen in the company of the companions. It's an honorable path you run, friend.
Now it doesn't have LOTD, alright, so that's what Novus has definitely. So I'm not saying it's better than Novus, I'm just saying like the graphics and performance, I think it's got a leg up a little bit.
You don't look so good. Are you?
Oh, 50 gold, perfect. So cheap here.
Until next.
Okay. Alright, it's a rainy day outside, it looks like, so it's gonna be... You hear that? Well, I don't know if you hear that, but... Either is a fire or it's the sound of rain hitting the roof. Never noticed it before. But... Again, I like the way the rain hits the screen. It kind of sells you on the immersiveness. And then the armor, of course, is all wet now too. Which is a nice touch. It's like one of those Zelda moments when you first start off the new the Zelda game and you run up to the ledge here and you look over. What is it? Breath of the Wild in the beginning. So that's interesting. It has like it has Skyrim Souls where the game doesn't pause. But then does it? Because I'm going into the menu right now and it seems to pause. But it doesn't pause when I'm doing this. It pauses when you go into maps. And it pauses when you're trying to save. But the list I just reviewed yesterday, which was, or not yesterday, but I think, well, it was yesterday for me actually. Ghoulified Reality. That has Skyrim Souls as well, and I was able to keep, I saw my guy running as I hit save. So it looks like there's different degrees of it, I guess. I didn't know. I thought Skyrim Souls was just one way. Maybe there's a full mod when you set it up that asks you, you know, how much, to what extent do you want it to be able to pause the game or not pause the game. Alright, so this is typical for this overhaul, right? So usually the horse is pointing down a roadway here, but because of this overhaul for Solitude's exterior, the horse is kind of like just clipping into the wall there. I saw the same thing in Lorim.
If you've come to Solitude to join the Legion, speak to Ritter. If not, keep your nose clean while you're here.
They can't hurt Uncle Bob here.
Let's change the time of day up a little bit here.
Tell them he did.
Just take a little bit more light in the city. There we go.
Sorry, you need to go home. Go home and stay there until your mother comes.
So like it's a really like toned down color color vibrance that's going on inside of this list. Again, it kind of takes like a darker, kind of true to life type of color tone. But that's what really hooked me on Apostasy back when I first started playing it, like I don't know, 6 months ago. Was how real it looked. So there we go. That's Solitude. Really nice. Again, the trees. I like the trees that they chose for this list. As usual, right? So we're at 55 FPS, but then you have all these little details that you can see. Even in the trees. The ground. The plants.
What is it, Imperial?
The guard armor. Even the door textures. Alright, we're looking at the NPCs in here.
Please don't interrupt.
Yeah, that's a much more detailed looking Elisif than some lists. This guy's got a custom armor here. I think this is the Fluted Knight's armor from Demon Souls.
Hafingar's people will always be safe under my rule. Your Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area.
Her face looks pretty good too.
Tempered reaction.
Her face too.
Might be called for.
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Alright, so we got 3 minutes left. We're gonna bypass the Winking Skeever, and we're gonna make a run for Morthal, and we'll probably wrap things up at Morthal. Because I do want to test out the performance in that area to see how this list handles it.
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many
47 FPS. Yeah, like the just the the quality of the NPCs just look really good.
Oh, by Shior. I had something I was
Like even okay, let's take a look at the Argonian here.
You're passing through Solitude?
Yeah, even that Argonian looks cool.
Make some easy gold, yes?
Alrighty.
So yeah, this is a heavily modified Solitude exterior. As you can see, like there's a whole entire town out here. I mean, it's almost as big as the interior of Solitude, to be honest, this whole town out here. Look at that. Look how many buildings there are. That's a sight to behold right there. This reminds me like of a scene like in Game of Thrones or something. Just need like a dragon to kind of fly overhead like that. Yep, wet armor. Looks good. Wet just because I went swimming, so that's good. It works when it's supposed to. Alright, well that's our 2-hour timer that went off. What's going on here? Who's this guy?
You look awful. Better not get me sick.
We'll go to Morthal. We're almost there. Let's take a look at the... Okay, this is where the FPS drops in a lot of lists, okay? So it is dropping here too. So 32 FPS, 31, 30. So it seems like nobody has ever been able to optimize this area of the game to the point where it doesn't have a significant FPS drop. Unless you're playing a list that is like really vanilla. But like for heavily modified lists, this area is usually always bogged down. It takes like I don't know, like 10% FPS drop, maybe 20% FPS drop. It's playable, but it's rough. It's 35, 34.
I'm happy to have you. I
I think you'll be alright at 2K though with the same hardware. And if you forget what hardware I have, check the description. I write it in the description all the time. Also, the channel description also has it in there. Wait till you see this Morthal though. This Morthal is also pretty overhauled too. Assuming it's the same one from the last version of the game, which I believe it is just from seeing it there. You see the house over there? It's like the house is has like a demon possessing it. All the lights are flashing in that building there. I've never seen that before. I'm sure something like that probably goes away when you restart the game though. It's just something misfiring. Alright, so that's the inn. A lot of the town has... That's funny, the death bell was making the wheel purple because of the light it was emitting. That's cool.
Maybe someday.
Please, go about your business.
We've no need for
Morthal has enough problems as it is.
It's no use. Let's get back.
The water looks really good. Again, so consistent with their choice of choosing high res textures. 42 FPS. Let's go in here and see if the lights are flashing inside, huh? High Moon Hall. Let's see if things are glitching out in here like they seem outside. Nope. So far, it looks good. Now, if we go back outside, will it be spazzing out? Let's see. Yeah, even this NPC right here, real quick.
So,
that she looks really real. Like, this is a really good choice of NPCs that they chose for this list. And I love the Imperial armor.
Please don't mind Yorick. He's not bad. Really, he's not.
Okay, let's see if the lights are flashing or if it was just a misfire. And just reloading this area fixes it. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, see, everything looks fine now. Alright, we're gonna go into the store right here. This store actually looks really cool. And then we're gonna wrap up the video here. We didn't get a chance to hit up Dawnstar, unfortunately, and then Winterhold and Windhelm. But I'm trying to keep it so that we're not focusing on just trying to hit every single city. That's always a goal, but it's a sub goal. I think the main goal is to see because different lists, the difficulty of them kind of slows you down, especially if survival mode is on. And I'm planning to try and keep whatever mode is on in the game to keep it on, and then kind of within the 2-hour window, how much ground we cover is kind of a testament to how difficult it is to traverse the world. And so, you know, some of those lists, it would take like 4 hours to do all the cities. And so trying to keep true to like, hey, what can we do in 2-hour window from when we start the timer? And maybe shoot a few minutes past if we're close to a town like we did with Morthal.
Oh, do come in. I hope I have what
Yeah,
you
see, look at this interior. I really like this little town. Not this little town, but this little shop. Has a lot of character to it. Anyhow. Alright, don't worry, Lami. I'm just cruising here. I know I got a lot of blood on my helmet. I look a little shady, especially with your kid over here. Just don't mind me. All right, so what do we think of this list? Or what do I think of it? And then what do you think of it as well? So you at home, I encourage you to give it a grade as well. Furthermore, I encourage you to rate it on the same scale I do and post your rating based off of what you saw in the comment section if you want to participate, of course. And that way other people can kind of gauge their opinions off of multiple people's opinions as well, and then kind of compare notes that way. So I'm going to go down the list and kind of speak about each category. I'm not going to give a score verbally because I still deliberate a little bit during editing. Certain things are for sure, like stability. I already know based off of how many crashes or how many restarts I got to do. So performance, I would give this a very good performance score. I'm hugging 60 FPS indoors at 85% GPU utilization, which is great. Granted, it is indoors, but outdoors I was running 60 FPS pretty often as well in a lot of areas. And the graphics were consistent everywhere I was. It was consistent. High resolution, textures everywhere. Barely any lag spikes. Not a lot of stuttering, if any. So performance really good. Combat, fantastic. I love the combat. That's one of the things that sold me on this list initially, is because it had the whole stance system. Granted, there's lists like Novus that have a stance system as well, but I think this list simplifies the stance system to a point that I'm comfortable with. I don't have to worry about putting perks into like a special skill tree. There's just a standard skill tree where I can put perks into and make my build. So I think it's kind of dumbed down to a point that I enjoy, without being too complicated. So and you can see as we did all these different weapon types, first person or third person, the stances all work. They're all different and they all kind of match the theme of them, right? So bear stance, kind of heavy swings. Hawk stance, light, kind of flashy swings, and then you got wolf stance, which is kind of somewhere in the middle ground there. And it was consistent across all the weapon types, whether third person or first person, which is nice attention to detail. And then the fact that you have a skill tree that you can advance those stances that's your favorite to kind of make your build, which is really cool. Visuals,
So creepy
top-notch
at night,
visuals.
living in
I
a
think this
swamp.
is about as good as it
I'm
gets
almost
with
envious of
Skyrim.
these people.
This is probably like a benchmark for graphics for Skyrim. But the thing is, it runs performance-wise like lists that have lesser graphics, if you know what I mean. So that's a huge feat, and I think that's why Aljo gets a lot of credit in the modding scene, for being able to accomplish both, which is huge. Stability, which is unfortunate, but stability is gonna be, I tell you right now, because it's based off of a system I have, it's gonna be 4.5 out of 5. And it would have been a 5 if it wasn't for the compass going missing and the health bars going missing earlier. But it did. And I can tell you, based off of me playing Apostasy, when I got rid of Quickloot, that kind of stuff went away. And I think I have to look back, because this was plaguing me hundreds of hours ago, and I got rid of it hundreds of hours ago. But I remember having to like wonder, why is my compass going missing, and searching the threads. And it wasn't until Biggie mentioned it, and I think he probably changed his assumption, or he's changed his verdict on why the compass goes missing from Quickloot to STB widgets. Someone told me, but you know, I run STB widgets on Apostasy, the earlier version of it, and I don't run Quickloot, and my compass had not gone missing since I got rid of Quickloot. And so I think there's something there to be said. So 4.5, it would have been a perfect score if it wasn't for Quickloot. So if you're gonna download this list, do yourself a favor, just disable it, and then you'll have a really, really good, stable list to play. I gotta tell you, Apostasy is probably one of the most stable lists I've ever played before, and I mod it. Like I put 200 more mods onto the list itself. I just looked at my MO2 and there was 3,000 mods on this, and I have 3,200 or so mods on the version of the list that I modded. So pretty good that there's that many mods at play here and it runs this smooth and this stable. But enough talking about that. You're gonna see the score on the screen as you usually do, and if you haven't already liked and subscribed, if you enjoy this content, a like and subscribe would help the channel out. If you don't like the content, then feel free to leave a comment on what you think is wrong with it. I can find areas to improve. So I'm not opposed to any criticism to what I'm doing. This all started off as kind of a lighthearted endeavor to kind of just make videos that I wish I saw on YouTube of all these different lists being played in real time, unedited, so I can kind of see how the list really plays. And so my score at the end that you're looking at probably right now is meant to be taken with a grain of salt, and you're meant to just take whatever you saw today and make your own opinion of it. And that's how I prefer it for you guys to take this kind of content in. And we also have a Discord. If you haven't joined that, there's a link in the channel description, and also in the video description. I believe I put it there as well. You can join there and join the chats. We have a lot of conversations about mod lists, or we share like screenshots that you can turn into wallpapers for your computer. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you on the next Skyrim Marathon.
Solving puzzles.